Ultimate International Challenge is about to commence. Great Britain versus Australia. Some of the most successful contenders in this country clash head-on with some of the finest on offer from down under. For the pride and the glory of winning, the Ashes. And standing between them and the coveted trophy, the greatest gladiators from Britain and the most awesome in Australia. The Battle of the Ashes is introduced by Ulrika Johnson and Mike Hammond.
Good evening and a very warm welcome to the National Indoor Arena here in Birmingham and to our second Ashes series. The result of the first Ashes hosted in Brisbane was split right down the middle with a win for the British girls and a win for the Aussie guys.
We have some great prize money at the end of this series. The winner will take home £6,000, it's 12,000 Australian dollars, and the runner-up will win £2,000. That's about $4 grand. So they've got to look after themselves, their country, and the bank manager.
So let's meet our contenders. Representing Australia, Marisa Huettner.
And representing Great Britain, it's Damm.
Welcome to the UK, Marisa. How are you feeling?
Not too bad, actually. A little bit nervous, though.
Now, the Aussies all know you, but we don't. So tell us a bit about you, what you do and where you're from.
Well, I'm from Canberra, the capital of Australia, and I'm a physical education teacher.
Oh, so you're pretty fit then.
Oh, well, not all of them are, but I try to keep fit, yes.
Now, tell us, how well did you do in the Aussie series?
Well, I actually was the champion of the Australian series.
Oh, that's terrific. And I understand also that you have the fastest eliminator time. Is that right?
Yes, I do, but your course is slightly different, so I'll have to still work hard to keep it up there.
Wish you the very best of luck for tonight. And who knows, you could be bringing the Ashes back to Australia. Who knows? Let's hear it for Marisa Huettner.
Sarah, whereabouts in the United Kingdom do you live?
Here in Birmingham.
So she's a local girl, folks. Wow. Now, also you've represented Great Britain as a heptathlete, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Heptathlete consists of 7 events: hurdles, high jump, long jump, shot, javelin, 200 and 800.
So you've represented in what titles? I mean, obviously, at what levels?
I've represented Great Britain in the heptathlon, and I won the national indoor title this year.
We wish you all the best tonight. Good luck.
Thank you.
Now we've met the girls, let's meet the guys. Representing Australia, Paul Reynolds.
And Great Britain, it's Emmil Watson.
Paul, you've never been to the UK, have you? How are you finding it?
I love it. The people are very friendly, and it's very much like home.
Is it? Why?
Oh, just the general, you know, the streets and the houses and the cars and everything, same.
Oh, well, it's just like being at home then, a few miles away. Tell us what you do and where you're from.
I work for the Hot Shots dance troupe in Sydney, Australia, New South Wales, and I work, that's by night, and by day I work in an office and study.
Ah, right. And what's your fitness thing? What do you like to do to keep fit, apart from your dancing?
Oh, I surf, I play a little bit of rugby league, I play a bit of squash and a bit of tennis.
Now, you've had a look at the competition here tonight in front of you. How do you think you're going to do tonight?
Well, this is an international standard event, and obviously, you know, the competitors are very strong. So, I mean, I'm playing for our Australian team, so I'm going to go hard, I'm going to go strong, and there's an old saying, I'm not here for a jam sandwich, I'm going to bring the victory back home for Sydney.
We'll see if you do that. Let's hear it for Paul Reynolds. Off you go.
Now, Emmil, the first thing they've asked me to do is check that your laces are done up nice and tight. They're all okay?
Yeah, they were actually quite tight last time, but unfortunately they came off in a bungee and had to finish the arm eliminator with socks.
You're the only guy who's done that, run up the travelator with just your socks on there.
I tell you, the crowd kept me going, so make sure you guys keep me going tonight. Be my family, my friends for the night, please.
I think there's no worries about that. You're on home soil. Let's hear it, folks, for Emmil Watson, representing Great Britain. Well done.
Well, the girls are now ready for their first event, so let the Ashes begin. First up, it's Marisa. And tonight, she's facing Vogue. Over to John Anderson.
Set the Pendulum.
swings the 1996 Battle of the Ashes into action. Marisa Huettner, a good old-fashioned Aussie name that, versus Vogue. And Vogue will be trying to prevent Marisa from piling on the points in this opening event. Marisa heading down under. Where else? This event new to the Aussies, so she's trying to make herself feel as at home as possible. Vogue directly above her seems to know Marisa's whereabouts and begins her descent. It's 5 if Marisa survives for 40 seconds. Should she manage the full minute, she'll clock up the maximum score of 10 points. Vogue in the vicinity, but not well enough place to flag her down. Marisa will open the Australian account with at least 5 points on this pendulum. Marisa has tucked herself away neatly like a bush baby in the breeze. And Vogue finding it tough to tackle her without being sucked from the net by the force of that swing. Vogue tantalisingly close, but can't get herself to within arm's length of the Australian. A canny champion from Canberra, and what a capital performance this has turned out to be. There's the sound of John Anderson's horn. And Vogue found Marisa and thought she couldn't miss her, but she was clearly outpositioned by the Australian contender.
Next up on the pendulum, it's Sarah. And she's going to be facing Glacier.
An Australian Glacier. Well, it may sound like a contradiction in terms, but that figure and those facts look real enough to me. 178 tall, 74 weight-wise, which means that Great Britain's Sarah Damm is 8 centimetres shorter and 12 kilos lighter.
3, 2, 1.
Sarah, our Birmingham-based stunner, was runner-up in this year's Great British competition. A star performer on the pendulum, she's consistently piled up the points on this testing apparatus. Sarah's tactic has always been to head due south and let the Gladiator do the work. This time she's against Glacier, who's used to floating about the South Pole. And Sarah will be feeling the chill wind of terror as the Glacier slides towards her. But Sarah may find herself with plenty to do here if she's going to stay out of trouble, trying to give the Ice Maiden the cold shoulder. But Glacier is well placed to freeze her out of the points. Glacier looking to change Sarah's red ensign into a white flag of surrender. But she's left it too late to stop Sarah scoring 5. Sarah needs to put some space between herself and the slinky Aussie in the silver cosy. Glacier has a go. Can't reach. Oh, Sarah's lost it. The pendulum ripped from her grip by the force of the swing. And if you blinked, here it is again. Glacier has a crack at grabbing the flag, but Sarah slips away when Glacier has a second go.
Well, Glacier, I have never seen anyone move so fast around the pendulum before.
Oh, it was so close, so near, but unfortunately too far.
You certainly were. I mean, I've seen Sarah do this before, going underneath the pendulum and then hanging around down there, but you didn't get much time to hang around today.
No, she was after me pretty quick. I lost my footing a bit and I just landed funny on my ankle, so it wasn't too good today.
Well, we'll get a medic to your ankle, and 5 points for you, Sarah, for staying on for more than 40 seconds, and well done to Glacier too.
While the doc checks out Sarah, let's see the scores. Australia's Marisa 10, Great Britain Sarah 5, down to Mike for the men's event.
Well, the Aussie girls have made a quick break for points. Let's see how the guys go. Representing Great Britain, it's Emmil Watson. And our Australian gladiator is Condor.
Ah, that Condor moment. Let's see how the Aussie shapes up stat-wise. Quite unreal, but enough about his hair colour. Boasts a 1-metre-88 frame, which supports 96 kilos of weight. And as you can see, Great Britain's Emmil Watson is 11 centimetres shorter and 13 kilos lighter.
3, 2, 1.
Australian referee John Forsyth there as he gets his first men's encounter underway. Emmil, a super semi-finalist in the national competition, fancies a job as a presenter. But right now he's being presented with a problem. Condor swooping round the sphere, and Emmil takes a hasty hike to his left. Condor sees Emmil left and low. Condor looks to be in control, but finds the wind beneath his wings momentarily taken away. Emmil seems to have settled into his rhythm, but once again, Condor looking to make a meal of Emmil. Condor, more like Concorde, the way he took off from that standing start. In nature, the altitude-loving Condor is used to thin air, which is why he gets on so well with the wolf. Goes for a flag snatch, but Emmil shrugs it off. Emmil's good for 5, and even at close quarters looks to be quite a match for the Australian gladiator. Condor has been breathing down Emmil's neck for the best part of 45 seconds, but still can't finish it. Emmil swinging low, but scoring high if he can hold on. Condor seems to have run out of ideas. Usually a soar-away success, but Emmil looks to have brought him down to earth. John Anderson blows the hooter. Condor's out of there. And as for Great Britain's Emmil, he nets the points. couple of Emmil fans who might want to see some of the action again despite the explosive start. Condor only once got himself within striking distance, but he let that chance slip away, along with Emmil.
And now to our second round of the male event. Please welcome from Australia, Paul Reynolds. And chasing him on the pendulum, it's Hunter.
Hunter, known to be a very quick finisher. Let's read this tale of the tape. Stands 1 metre 90, weighs 106 kilos and fussed out 127 centimetres of chest. Australia's Paul finds himself 12 centimetres shorter, 26 kilos lighter and less chesty to the tune of 15 centimetres. In Sydney, Paul dances with a troupe he founded called the Hot Shots. He needs to be light on his feet here because our own hot shot Hunter will soon be on his case. Paul goes high and Hunter comes over the horizon. This Aussie is faster than a dingo that's just sat on a didgeridoo. That yellow flag is Hunter's target, but he can only see it retreating into the distance at the moment. Hunter, relentless gladiator. Well, Paul's got his work cut out now. Hunter closing the gap with every stride. The Australian supporters right behind their man, but so's Hunter. Almost treading on his feet. Flag just out of reach. And Paul moves down. Hunter trying to keep on terms, but Paul's pulled 5 points. Paul going low. Oh, and Hunter's lost it. For the first time ever, Hunter loses his grip and grants the contender 10 points. Let's see that upset again. Paul's hanging on and suddenly Hunter isn't. A rare mistake from the big fella.
Hunter, I was going to ask you which one of your parents was a spider, mum or dad, because you fly around that thing.
Yeah, it's one of my best events. Really enjoyed doing it. Full credit to the Australian contender. He flew round. I was just pushed up by the swing. Well done, mate.
I thought you had him, but Paul, turn around. You've still got the tag on the back. There it is, so proof that you weren't got. First time I won that. We don't have this game in Australia. How is it?
It's really hard. As a matter of fact, I got a really good start on the very first blow of the whistle. And then I thought, wow, this is easy. But then I seen the Hunter come round. He was flying. And I thought, gee whiz, this is not so easy.
Worth it in the end, Paul. Good points for you. 10 points. Well done.
Woo, thank you.
A flying start from both contenders. Australia's Paul 10, Great Britain's Emmil 10.
Gladiators.
We brought our Australian gladiator guests here, the magnificent Iron Bridge Gorge Museum at Bliss Hill, Shropshire, England.
It's one of the finest open-air museums in the country.
And it's a genuine journey back in time. Almost everything you see here is as it was in 19th century Victorian England.
Oh, in that case, we'll get a chance to see your joke book.
Haven't I seen her on Australian television? In Prisoner Cell Block H.
She's got a point, though. We've got the Sydney Harbour Bridge, and they bring me all this way to see this.
Now then, ladies and gentlemen, before we go into event number 2, we have some very sad news from Sarah Damm. Sarah, tell us what's happened.
I had a bad fall as I came off the pendulum. I landed on the net and I was pushed along, and I unfortunately landed funny on my ankle. So the physio's recommended that I don't continue, otherwise it will just get worse.
Well, are you feeling all right, though?
Yeah, I'm feeling okay. The ankle obviously isn't feeling all right, but it shouldn't take that long to recover, I don't think. But Michelle, she's going to step in for me and she's going to do the business for our spritz.
She certainly is. In this case, of course, we bring in our standby, and that is Michelle Kimberley. The Aussies don't know you yet, so we'll have to introduce you. Tell us what you're doing, where you're from.
I do modern pentathlon for Great Britain, so another multi-athlete the same as Sarah, and I'm from Evesham in Worcestershire.
Well, it's not great to step in like this, is it?
No, this is the worst way to come in after, you know, Sarah did so well in the domestic competition, but I'll do my best for you.
And it would be really great if Sarah's supporters could give Michelle a bit of support during the course of this. Let's hear it for Michelle Kimberley and Sarah Damm.
Representing Great Britain on the blue balls, it's Michelle. Playing for Australia with the red balls, it's Marisa. And they're both going against our gladiators, Vogue, Glacier and Laser.
The international force to be reckoned with.
We'll hand control of our game to our referee now, John Forsyth.
Contenders, are you ready? Gladiators, are you ready? Three, two, one.
Marisa, the Antipodean tipped over by Laser. Michelle gets a frosty reception from Glacier. Glacier sprinting to cover for Michelle's return trip. Marisa with Laser and Vogue between her and the points. The Glads pile in with a preventative treatment, and Michelle can't slide past the Glacier. The Great British Glads race into position. Michelle, Glacier there again, gives her the icy glare. Marisa in the outback. Vogue gets a grip on the situation, ensures that Marisa's down and under. The Glads giving the Contenders short shrift out there. Oh, Marisa again, dummies left and right, but Laser's not come to mess about. Cuts her down. Michelle returns to reload, back into the fray, and Glacier, more like an avalanche with that tackle, chills her out. Marisa goes left, but goes down with a face full of Laser. Michelle tries to take advantage of the confusion. Can't cut back to score. Glacier freezes her out of the points again. Marisa, the PE teacher, has been given a lesson by Laser tonight, but Marisa dumps her on the deck. Oh, rims the basket and fails to score. There's the hooter, and the Great British Glads only just kept a clean sheet. Storming finish by Marisa, nearly sneaked one in. In the replay, we show how Glacier made sure there were no slip-ups, grounded Michelle, and then raced for position to cover the Contenders' return trip. Michelle with plenty of fire, but couldn't melt the Glacier. After 2 events, Marisa stays on 10, Michelle on 5.
Let's see if the boys are more successful than the girls. Representing Australia and playing with the blue balls, it's Paul. And for Great Britain with the red balls, it's Emmil. Against our Gladiators, Rhino, Tower and Condor.
Mean, moody and magnificent, and that's just Rhino. And Condor with a nasty, nervous twitch in that right arm.
And now to our referee for this round, John Anderson.
Contenders ready! Gladiators ready! 3, 2, 1! Emmil. Oh, faced out by Tower. Paul skims past Rhino, 2 points. Emmil tied up, here's Paul again. Oh, Condor there, Rhino can't get his revenge. 3 more for Paul, this Aussie faster than a sheep that doesn't want to be sheared. Emmil back to reload, sees his gap. Oh, and Tower can't bridge it, 2 points. Rhino all ends up, 2 more for Paul, the point-scoring powerhouse. Emmil ready to explode. Paul primed and ready. Oh, double takedown by Tower and Rhino, and Emmil with an easy dunk for 3. Paul recovers, fast feet mean a blistering start. Emmil again, oh, driven back by Tower, and Paul pots a pair on the blind side. The Australian dancer keeping the Gladiators on their toes tonight. 9-5 the score. Paul again, piling into Rhino and Condor takes flight to demolish Emmil. The Contenders have copped some knocks, but managed a few shocks, as that scoreline shows. Time running down, back into battle. Heads down, Rhino and Tower see off Emmil, and Condor unloads Paul. A bruising encounter for both Contenders. In the replay, Emmil needed all his skill and speed to open up a scoring gap.
Emmil, how did you feel? I mean, there's some big hits there.
Big hits, tall guys, respect where it's due. Good guys. What can I say? Brilliant, excellent game. Hope the audience enjoyed it.
Paul, come in here. Come over this way. I noticed that Rhino was marking you through most of that match. Now, he's about the same height as you, but I'm afraid you're not quite as wide.
Yeah, I tried to outsmart him, but he was pretty good. I think I got through a couple of times, but he really pounded me a few times.
Let's hear it for our male challengers.
After 2 events, Paul moves up to 19 and Emmil to 15.
Well, after 2 exhaustive games of Powerball, it's time to take a break. But join us in just a moment for more Ashes action here on Gladiators.
Welcome back to the Ashes series here at the National Indoor Arena in Birmingham. We're set for our next event.
Swingshot.
Please welcome our Australian challenger, Marisa. And representing Great Britain, it's Michelle. Our gladiators are Fury and Lightning. John Anderson, let's start the game.
Contenders, ready! Gladiators, ready! We're ready! 3, 2, 1. And Michelle swings out for Great Britain. Fury's committed too early. Michelle nabs a blue for 2 points. Recoils to the basket. Good start for Michelle. Lightning into the late action. Marisa can't collect a colour. Intimidated by Lightning. Red scores 3, blue 2 to yellow 1. Coming back empty-handed, scores zip. Michelle for a big swing. Oh, Fury early. Marisa there too and yanks away yellow. Fury still operating on Australian time. She's hours ahead of Michelle. Lightning launches herself again. Good interception. Michelle back for more. Again, Fury too early to catch the contender. Another 2-pointer to Michelle. Bounces back and baskets the ball. And winds up for another windfall. Marisa again. Excellent defense from Lightning. Makes Marisa a misser. Both girls away with nothing. Fury dangling about in the land that time forgot. That'll give Michelle a free swing on the cylinder. Marisa and Lightning meet her there once again. Nobody comes away with anything. Those chances don't happen often. Michelle should have made that count. Hooters blown on 60 seconds of spring-heeled action. Good win for the Great British Contender with a little help from her Australian gladiator. Oh, and a makeshift Michelle poster knocked up very quickly there. And Michelle knocked up the bulk of her points very quickly too. With Fury out of the way on a debut swing, the cylinder was hers to clean up. Opened up with a blue. Marisa met with more determined opposition, but still managed to sneak away with a single from right under Lightning's nose.
And at the end of that round, let's check the score. For Marisa, it's 1 point. And for Michelle, it's 4. And let's hear it for our gladiators, Fury and Lightning.
While Lightning celebrates, let's see the scores. Marisa moves up to 11 and Michelle bounces back with 9.
So now we move into the men's event. Representing Great Britain, it's Emmil. Representing Australia, it's Paul. And they're going to be facing Saracen and Taipan.
You know.
Over to John Forsyth.
Contenders, are you ready? Players, are you ready? Yeah, man. Always. 3, 2, 1.
Paul looking like Rudolf Neriev with his Grand de Jete into the arena. Less like a dying swan, more like a dead duck. No points for either contender. Taipan needs a bedpan by the looks of it. Paul swings again. Saracen times it well, but he can't stop the lemon being plucked from the tree. Paul recoils to bank it. And Emmil, high and mighty, snatches a red out of the Taipan into the wire. Recoils to basket his triple treat. The high-flying Emmil Watson, those 3 will do nicely. Paul again, this Aussie got more bounce than a kangaroo with a belly full of beans. But Saracen's there to stop any scoring. Emmil outstretches Taipan. Shame he's not called Taipin. He could do with being sharper. 2 points. Paul into action. Free swing. Oh, he touched the cylinder. That blue won't count. Emmil with a red. Oh, he let it slip through his fingers. It bounced around like a pinball, but Emmil couldn't get a grip. Paul, oh, Saracen there this time. Fences him away. Emmil with a swing. Taipan with a lunge. But Emmil steals another blue. Taipan, more like dustpan, the way he's been given the brush off. Emmil adds 2 more points to his total. He is up for another, but there's the hooter to call time. Good swinging from both guys. Let's review the action. Well, on the first bounce, Emmil was stronger, higher and faster than Taipan. The 3 essentials needed to beat a gladiator on Swingshot, and Paul wasted his free swing by hitching in the legal lift on the cylinder.
So at the end of Swingshot, let's have a look at the scoreboard. Paul picked up 1 yellow and 1 blue, but because he climbed up the pole to pick the blue ball up, he'll be disqualified for that and only picks up 1 point. Emmil picked up 2 blue and 1 red, and he gets 7 points.
Well, add those to the tally man, and after 3 events, Paul has 20 and Emmil 22.
Here at Bliss Hill is a replica of the beautiful ornate letterboxes they had in Victorian Britain. And this one is still in use today.
Excuse me, ladies. Just posting a fan letter.
Fan letter hunter? Who to?
Why, me, of course.
Event number 4. First up on Duel, it's Marisa. She's going to be battling it out against Rio.
Rio, a dynamic duelist, measures up superbly well, stands a statuesque 187 and weighs 83 kilos, which means Marisa will be giving away 22 centimetres and 22 kilos. A bit of psyching out. 3, 2, 1. And it's Rio first into action. Marisa swings and misses. And Rio's not come to go waltzing Marisa up there. More Bishop-Boss than Billabong, but Marisa digging in, mixing and matching. Marisa's down. Oh, but she jumps up like a jumbuck. But getting a real swagman swiping from Rio. Oh, stick that in your tucker bag. A quick Australian impression of the Flying Doctor there. And Rio with an impromptu aerobics lesson, which everyone's keen to follow. Rio swung a shot to the head. Rattled Marisa's billy can, and she was gone before you could say, "Tiny kangaroo down." Sport, the Aussie fans exacting revenge on the cameraman there.
Next up on Duel, it's Michelle. And she's going to be facing Storm.
Ah, the dark clouds gathering for Michelle because the storm is about to rage, but the Australian glamour gladiator only stands 165 and weighs 56 kilos, which, according to my sums, gives the Great Britain girl an all-round advantage, 2 centimetres height-wise and 7 kilos weight-wise. This is going to be tough to forecast, and Michelle electing to rain down on the Storm. The Gladiator trying to jab, but hardly a Storm force at the moment. Michelle looking a durable duelist, and Storm holding on to Michelle. Clearly on the wane for a moment there, in fact, nearly down the drain. The Storm blowing hot and cold, and Michelle facing this heavy weather with a sunny outlook. Michelle Phoenician really knows how to weave them. And the Storm is quelled, down faster than a falling barometer. Comes back with a couple of bolts from the blue, but this Storm cannot send Michelle running for cover. Great duel from Michelle, scores 5, but fully deserved the maximum. And the Gladiator will be disappointed with that. Storm with a face like thunder. And here's why. Storm nudges away and then gets clobbered by the cobber, pummeled by the pom, and severely punished for sending us neighbours.
Now, John Anderson, I understand there's been an official complaint. Can you tell us about it?
Yes, Michelle has asked that we have a look at the video, and on looking at the video, the Gladiator Storm put her hand on Michelle's hand and stick. That is not allowed within the rules, and therefore Gladiator Storm is disqualified, and Michelle has 10 points.
Well, the rules are quite clear. Marisa stays on 11, Michelle moves to 19.
We've seen the girls slug it out. Now let's see the guys go. Representing Great Britain, it's Emmil. Against the bad boy of the Australian team, Vulcan. To our referee, John Forsyth.
Contender, are you ready? Gladiator, are you ready?
Emmil knows the Vulcan's behaviour is far from exemplary. Huh? What's that mean? Emmil working away at the jab, but Vulcan's starting to swing into action left and right, and Emil's had enough of that. A Vulcan victory. Like a Tasmanian devil, the Vulcan dispatches Emmil to the crash mat in double quick time. And the Aussie fans with something to sing about at last in this event. While Vulcan displays his modesty, let's relive the action. Stings Emmil with a right, then finishes it with a short left.
Emmil.
Oh, the Vulcan still throwing his weight around and his hair. Oh, Emmil getting stuck in.
Behave. Behave.
Listen to me, you Brits. I didn't come here to lose. That was too easy.
Well, Emmil, no points for you there, I'm afraid. Let's hear it from Emmil. And our Gladiator, Vulcan.
Well, Vulcan appears to be stealing Wolf's act as well as his placard. That lady is no Vulcan fan, along with 8,000 other people.
Round 2 for the guys, and it's a rematch. Remember what happened in Pendulum? Representing Australia, it's Paul. Against Hunter. Here's John Forsyth.
Contender, are you ready? Gladiator, are you ready? On guard.
Well, Paul is in serious trouble here. The hunter has a score to settle. Oh, eat your heart out, Ted Rogers. Hunter with a right, and another piling in, and Paul's out. 4 shots, 3 seconds, too much. One contender bites the dust. Revenge is sweet, and the crowd have got something to dance about.
No smiles there. You're obviously not happy with that.
Not happy at all. I didn't expect the over top. I was expecting a lefty, but that's the way it goes. You've got to hit back and try and block his hit. Otherwise, you're just going to cop it. And unfortunately, I didn't see that one coming over the top, and that's the way it goes, and off I went.
No points for you there, Paul. Hunter, there's a smile there.
Yeah, I mean, the game took me on Pendulum. Full respect to that. I wanted to make it up on the Duel. I know these Australians are very fast, very quick. I was expecting a lot of ducking and diving, but I always had to get a few big blows in there before I hit the controlled blows.
All right, let's have a big round of applause for Paul, who fought well. But victorious in this event was Hunter, our gladiator.
After 4 events, Paul remains on 20 and Emmil stays on 22.
Going into the Victorian chemist here at Bliss Hill is like walking into another world.
All these coloured bottles show the different medicines. There must be a remedy for every possible pain and irritation in existence.
Did you say every pain and irritation?
Yep.
Did you hear that? Every pain and irritation. That means you could have an antidote for John Anderson. Shop!
On to our next event. Our first challenger representing Australia is Marisa. And fighting for Great Britain, it's Lightning.
Well, Marisa claims to be a bit of a hang-tough cookie, but she'll need to be against Lightning, our one-woman gladiator strike force. Let's deliberate on these delightful dimensions. The bombshell stands 170 and weighs 58 kilos, 5 centimetres taller but 3 kilos lighter than the contender. Lightning launches herself, deals with more rings than a telephone operator in this event, and to connect with the Australian challenger is no long distance. Already a face-to-face confrontation. Marisa swings back, hangs a left. Lightning retreats to guard her territory. Marisa in the scoring zone. And out of Lightning's range, Lightning hangs a right as a countermeasure. Marisa wider still to avoid the trap, but Lightning's going to get her on the backswing. Oh, Lightning latches onto her leg, gets a handle on Marisa's belt. Hello, Marisa trying to tie up Lightning in a painful arm lock. The referee surely should intervene here. This is hardly the sporting spirit we're used to. Lightning one-ringed and unable to move. Disgraceful set of circumstances to be allowed to continue. Lightning's arm being deliberately twisted against the joint, fighting the pain barrier. Lightning's gone, and Lightning clutching her arm. Well, I've never seen anything like it. 5 seasons of Gladiators, and clearly the referee didn't see anything at all. But it seems Marisa is going to be allowed to get away with it. Perhaps John Anderson was too busy tuning up his hooter to notice. Marisa's going to be allowed 5 points, makes it to the Gladiator platform after the time-up. Well, let's look at it again. Lightning's left arm is locked up agonisingly, and the only thing she can do is let go of her ring and drop to the mat.
And now, representing Great Britain, it's Michelle. And her Australian gladiator is Delta.
The Delta lady, a firm favourite from Down Under. Veteran of the previous Ashes series, stands 170 and 62 kilos, 3 centimetres taller than Michelle, but a kilo lighter.
Ref, the game is yours.
Contender, are you ready? Gladiator, are you ready? 3, 2, 1.
Delta takes to the wing, knowing that the all-round sports star Michelle is built for this kind of action. Michelle, an intelligent contender, plans her tactics, and right now she's here on the left side of the grid. Looking strong, but as we know, the Aussie Glad hates to concede points to contenders. She's known as Denial Delta. Michelle well in the scoring zone with a swing in her favour. Delta darting back to cover. Here she comes. Michelle tries to spin out of trouble. Delta misses the hips but grabs her shoulder instead. A bit of a Mrs. Hippie Delta there. But now it's all up to Michelle. Hang tough is the name of the event, and that's what the Great British Contender intends to do. Delta at a weight disadvantage, but nonetheless Michelle is supporting a combined weight of 125 kilos. In plain English, that's well over 19 stones. The crowd are screaming for her to hang on, and she's got the power to grab the glory. Miss Kimberley is a diamond mine of sparkling talent. She knows Delta won't shift her. Oh, how does she do it? She looks so confident, closes her eyes, and there she blows. And there she goes. Delta, please, that's all over. Michelle the Magnificent. Delta must have wished she'd eaten garlic the night before, because that would have been the only way she'd have shifted Michelle. Delta convincingly defeated.
What goes through your mind when you're hanging there with Delta or a Gladiator just doing their best to get you off the rings?
I could see her gripping her teeth, and I just thought, grip your teeth even more and hold on for those 5 points.
And what was the feeling like when you heard the buzzer go?
Relief.
Absolutely. Well done. 5 points. That was great. You needed to do that because Marisa got the 5. A great effort there by Michelle.
Great effort indeed. After 5 events, she maintains her lead. Marisa moves up to 16, Michelle to 24.
So now we move into the men's event with Emmil. And revenge has been promised by Taipan.
Well, looks as though Taipan didn't finish his tea before coming out. Another Ashes veteran. Let's see what the Aussie has to offer stat-wise. Stands 183 and weighs in at 105 kilos.
Contender ready! Gladiator ready! 3, 2, 1!
Taipan, an Australian gladiator with a Hong Kong name. Go figure that one out. But what I have figured out is that he's 6 centimetres taller than Emmil and 22 kilos heavier. But he looks to be sneaking up behind Taipan. Taipan retreats to defend his platform, snaps his legs shut like a trap, but Emmil wasn't there. He may get him on the swing. No, Emmil escapes again. Taipan hoping for third time lucky. Oh, he's got him. Emmil knees up. He's not content. He's in the scoring zone, but he's got Taipan crawling all over him. Emmil hanging tough. Taipan looking like Peter Pan at the moment. He can't shift Emmil. True grit from the Brit. Incredible strength, and Taipan must wonder what he's got to do to get him down. Emmil proving once and for all he's got plenty of bottle. The strain must be incredible, and even worse for Emmil. Oh, he's gone! Emmil stripped from the rings, but what a courageous effort. But Taipan looks more wrecked than Emmil. A reluctant chorus of another one bites the dust introduces Emmil gritting his teeth with Taipan really going at him, literally breathing down his neck. A remarkable performance from Emmil.
Next up to hang tough, it's Paul. He's going to be facing the nasty, nasty Wolfman.
The Wolf, he's hounded Contenders for 5 seasons now, but there's a few years left in the old boy yet. Stands a magnificent 183 and weighs in at 95 kilos.
Contender ready! Gladiator ready!
And who's going to argue with that, whatever that meant?
2, 1!
Wolf swings out, knowing that he's 5 centimetres taller than Paul and 15 kilos heavier. The hairy beast has muscles in places where most people don't have places. Looks to be in control of the situation. Paul breaks to his right, plenty of pace on the rings. The Wolf within striking distance, covering well, matching his swing. Oh, Paul with a dangerously wild feat. Leaves Wolf one-ringed and spinning. That won't help his mood. And Paul with freedom now to make a move on the platform. He's well placed and Wolf's got his work cut out here. Still one-ringed in no man's land, but Paul somehow managed to get himself one-ringed. It's fast becoming a bit of a one-ring circus up there. Paul looking to make a move. Oh, and Paul's gone. Extraordinary exit by the Australian contender. Under no pressure, but completely lost his grip. Wolf audaciously claiming the victory was down to him as the Aussie spins down like a broken Bushman's boomerang. Oh, stone the wombats, Bruce. Wolf's helmet whistles by Paul's nose. Wolf clearly dischuffed at Paul's high feet in that event. Oh, hello. This'll do a lot for Anglo-Australian diplomacy. Why isn't Ulrika doing something? She should be in there, breaking them up. Extraordinary scenes. John Anderson steams in to rescue Paul and still somehow keeps his hat on. The Wolf avenged and unrepentant.
I apologise profusely. You've never been to this country before, and that's the kind of welcome you get. I'm so sorry.
Oh, look, it must have been a bit of a high kick. It's very hard not to up there. You've got to use your legs as defence. It may have looked as though it was a kick, but it wasn't intentional. I was just trying to escape from the Wolfman.
You nearly succeeded, but not quite. When are you ever going to learn to behave?
Listen, I behave when they behave. He kicked me unnecessarily. Everyone saw it.
Well, this is a first. The crowd agreeing with Wolf. That smile on his snout says it all. Both members of his fan club out in force. Wolf's going to Pauline, Sarah Damm's mum, and Annette, who's Sarah's auntie, and the flags are out for Wolf tonight. After 5 events, Paul remains on 20, and Emmil stays on 22.
So join us after the break to find out who will go through to the Ashes final here on Gladiators.
The Ashes.
Welcome back to the National Indoor Arena here in Birmingham, where it's eliminator time. We're literally moments from finding out who will be in the Ashes final. But first, let's take a look at the scoreboard. Marisa's on 16, Michelle's on 24. That's an 8-point difference, giving Michelle a 4-second head start.
Michelle, you will go on my first whistle. Marisa, you will go on my second. 3, 2, 1.
John Forsyth starts the eliminator for a place in the Ashes final. Michelle over the highs and lows. Here comes Marisa. Michelle more suited to the power events. Michelle in the bungee maze, and that tortuous tangle taking its toll. Marisa slithering. This Aussie smoother than a Sydney snake in the surf. Great effort to pull back 4 seconds before the rope climb. Marisa's on the platform and in the lead. Michelle's arm still suffering from that hang-tough tussle with Delta. Marisa on the ladder. Michelle dispenses with the rope, but she's got it all to do now. Marisa finishes her hand ladder. Rollers are the route to the net. In Australia, she holds the record for the fastest eliminator. Marisa climbing awkwardly. Michelle could claw back some of that lead here. Marisa keeps looking back to check on Michelle's progress as Michelle starts her climb. Marisa onto the gantry. Michelle digging deep into the courage bank. Marisa hooks up to the zip for the fast track to the floor. But as we've all come to learn on Gladiators, it's not over until the credits roll. Next, the graveyard, haunted by the discontented spirits of past contenders. The balance beam, and she's got to start again. Pauline and Annette know Michelle's still got a chance. Marisa back on the beam, Michelle on the line, gets a bird's eye view of Marisa's dilemma. Marisa Huettner from Australia for a place in the Ashes final. Can she tame the Travelator? Oh, she can't! Dragged back to the deck by the belt, and suddenly Michelle's back in the frame. Michelle on the beam. And Marisa with another crack at the Travelator. Has she got what it takes? Head high. Oh no, she slips. Oh, hanging on, but going nowhere fast. Slides back to the ground as Michelle storms up. Can she snatch victory? Oh, Michelle slows down. Oh, slips down. Victory wrenches from her grasp. And they're both back where they started from. The Brits can't believe it. It's head-to-head stuff now. Michelle is the first to go for broke. Here comes Marisa, but they're both in trouble. The Travelator knows no mercy. It takes its toll again. Scenes of anguish in the arena. What have they got to do to end this nightmare? They've given their all, and still it demands more. Some parts of the crowd screaming for Australia, others baying for Britain as Michelle makes the first balanced run for the victory. And here comes Marisa, but they're not going to make it. Everything goes into reverse as they go back to square one. And we've never seen anything like this before on Gladiators. The contenders on the verge of collapse. And John Forsyth has blown his whistle. They've been to hell and back tonight. Pauline and Annette don't know what's going on. And John Forsyth explaining the situation to both contenders. And I'm sure when he gets through, he'll explain the situation to us. Both contenders appear to be walking to the start of the balance beam. It's a wonder they've got the energy for that. Hang on, though. I think John Forsyth is about to make an announcement.
In the event of both challengers not being able to get up the Travelator, we will commence it after a short break they've had from this point, both starting at the same time. Michelle and Marisa, you'll both go on my whistle. 3, 2.
So after a quick breather, they're back into action. The next few seconds will determine who gets left and who goes through. Stride for stride on the beams. Marisa with a better dismount. Up the Travelator. Has she got enough? This time she has. Australia breaches the paper burst. Marisa Huettner snatches victory in a place in the Ashes final by a whisker from our own Brit, Michelle Kimberley.
Warm congratulations to you. My goodness, you both worked very, very hard on that eliminator. I can't tell you, the tension in here is absolutely astronomical. How are you feeling?
A bit bruised.
And exhausted, naturally. The good news for you is that you're through to the Ashes final.
Michelle, it's like the World Cup all over again. I mean, that's how they must have felt in that sudden death shootout.
Yeah, it's hard. There's a lot of pressure on you then. But I had to do that on my first heat in the domestic, and I won, so I think I paused too long at the end of the beam, but...
Look, you're an Ashes contender. Let's put this on you now. And congratulate you. You've been a fantastic contender. I think the whole crowd would agree, don't you think, that Michelle has done a fantastic effort?
But the tension doesn't finish with that fantastic eliminator. Next comes the men's challenge. Great Britain's Emmil has a 2-point lead over the Australian Paul Reynolds. That equates to a 1-second head start.
Well, Emmil, I'm not quite sure if it's worth having a 1-second head start. I mean, it's quite a painful second, that.
No, not at all. This guy does it 49.5, but I'm going to be a vegetarian bird flying free.
Well, Paul, I'm sure you're looking at following in Marisa's footsteps, aren't you?
I hope so. But anything can happen. It's a new show, different night, different day. Anything can happen.
We'll see what happens. The best of luck to the both of you, and we'll see you both at the end. Emmil and Paul. Over to John Anderson.
Emmil, you will go on my first whistle. Paul, you will go on my second whistle. 3, 2, 1.
Emmil gets it underway with Paul hot on his heels. Emmil, a real soul man, completed his last eliminator in his socks after losing his shoes early doors on this course. But Paul emerges from the rubber room with a clear lead. This Aussie's faster than Possum with a peps full of peppers. Paul's hands are blur on the bike. Emmil joins him. Paul on the rollers, bounds across them with ease. This great British eliminator course holds no terrors for him. Oh, but making hard work at the net. And Emmil has pulled it right back, and Great Britain are in the frame once again. And Paul making a kookaburra stew of that net. And now he's at the top, onto the gantry for the aerial runway to the arena floor. Hooks up and slides down, the gap opening once again. Splashes down, still has to work the graveyard shift though. Emmil down, needs to pull a few rabbits from the hat now. Oh, but Paul, excellent balance, onto the travelator without breaking stride. Remarkable turn of speed for a place in the Ashes final. A double whammy for Australia in this heat. Emmil, a valiant effort for his country, completes this agonising course.
I have to say, you made that eliminator in 59 seconds look very, very easy.
It weren't so easy this time, I can tell you. I'm knackered, as they say in England.
Well, some of us do, but anyway, the best of luck, and we look forward to seeing you in the Ashes final. Let's hear it for Paul Reynolds. Woo, well done.
Emmil, put this around your head. You're a champion, mate. You've been here on your own tonight, but you've got the whole crowd behind you. Those bungee cords seem to be giving the Brits a lot of trouble.
Well, I've had some good things happen since I've been on this programme, as you know. Travelator is always easy. Just lost it in a bungee. Straightforward, caught on the net, lost in a bungee. Again, thank you. Sorry, folks. Keep watching. Great final to come.
Emmil wants in a big round of applause. And hearty congratulations. But it's Paul Reynolds who's through to the final after Heat 1.
Well, Mike, I have to say I'm rather gutted by that result. An out-and-out win for Australia.
Well, Ulrika, anything can happen. And, of course, next week we still have Heat number 2 to go. So it doesn't look like it's going to be an all-Australian final yet.
No, let's hope not. Join us next week for more Ashes action here on Gladiators.
For safety reasons, do not attempt to recreate any of the events you have seen on Gladiators.
Let's face it, Sunday wouldn't be Sunday without a bit of bully, would it? Jim Bowen is just making sure he's got the BFH in his pocket, and he'll be with us next. Then at 9, Nick Hancock and Michelle Collins are two of the famous faces for the Chase Celebrity Special. That's at 9, new to Challenge.